What up guys, Raptors here and welcome to my review of the single player campaign for Medal of Honor Warfighter. So I'm going to start this review how I do with every single other review and start off with the presentation. So the last Medal of Honor game ran off the Unreal Engine. I think it was first debuted on the Unreal Tournament game. Maybe if it's not that, then it'll be on Gears of War. But the new one runs off the Frostbite 2 engine, same engine as what Battlefield 3 runs off. The thing is that the Battlefield 3 version is like an early version, and this version is a tweaked version. They've had time to change some things, and Danger Close have actually done a really good job with it. It looks a lot cleaner, looks a lot more fresh and a lot more colourful. But does it use it as well as Battlefield 3 does? Personally, I don't think so. Battlefield 3, the campaign had a ton of set pieces. You had the jet mission, you had the mission at the end when you're going through New York. On this, there's a few sections in it, especially on the first mission, which you'll see. This is the first mission that's on the gameplay now. Some missions use it really well. And then some don't. It isn't used to its full capacity, and then there are some weird glitches with it. The game could look a lot better. Some graphics look brilliant, and some of them look a bit half done. It's like basically you'll have some graphics which look great, like Frostbite 2 engine worthy, and then other graphics will look like they're from like PS2 time when you're looking at background textures and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't really matter. Overall, the graphics is really solid. The sound for the game is also amazing. I don't understand how other games haven't done this detailed sound before. What they did was different sound effects happen. So you can hear empty shell casings hitting the floor after you've shot a gun. You get when you shoot a bullet and it has to travel a distance, you'll actually hear the bullet hit a wall or something like that. In the background you actually get that definite ping in the back. You also get, when you get a headshot, you actually get like a slight crunch of the bullet going through, and Jesus, it's satisfying. It's really satisfying. But the voice acting in this game is really good, and that's where I'll go to next, is the cutscenes. The cutscenes in this game are done similar to how the animated Resident Evil movies are done. Where I was going to go next. The Resident Evil movies are done, and how, say, Final Fantasy Spirited Within was done. That kind of animated movie are how the cutscenes are done, and they look great. The voice acting in them is brilliant. The voice acting through the whole game is really good, and they're really solid, and they help carry the story, which I'll head to next. So the story is split into two sections. The first section of the story is you're trying to find who's distributing these explosive ordnance weapons, explosive devices around the world, tracking this terrorist cell and stuff. But the second story, which I personally found more interesting and more, a lot more engaging, was there's a storyline with the main character Preacher, and it's him trying to juggle a life as a family man with his wife and his daughter, and him trying to juggle the life of being a Spec Ops soldier in the US Army. The first half of the game is him trying to juggle that, and the second half is trying to capture the explosive devices from this terrorist cell. Personally, I thought the character development section was a lot better. It was a lot stronger. It's a lot more engaging, and you still have that feeling of the character development even till the last cutscene in the game, which is really strong. Especially you get like a small segment at the end of writing. It's a speech that an actual person made at the end of the game, just before the credits roll. So I think that's about it. Oh no, gameplay. I'm gonna cover gameplay very briefly, because the majority of the gameplay that I'm gonna cover will be in the multiplayer review. But the single player review, there are 3 different types of missions in this game. You've got your typical A to B first person shooter, shooting everybody in sight kind of mission, and then you have your stealth missions, which are really well done. The stealth missions are usually incorporated inside of a to B shooting mission, but they're usually towards the start of a mission, the stealth sections. And then there's about 2 missions through the game which are driving missions. One of them is a chase mission in a car, and then the second one is a evasive car chase. You're being chased by somebody else because you've just taken a hostage. And there's also a driving segment inside one of the missions where you're driving a boat. But apart from that, if you had to ask me what review I'd give this game, for just its single player, it'd be an 8 out of 10. If you ask me, is it worth buying just for the campaign, I'd say no. Even though it's an 8 out of 10 campaign, I'll get to this in the multiplayer review. I don't think the campaign enough is worth buying a game, apart from if it's Dead Space, because Dead Space was just flawlessly brilliant. But I think that's about it for this review. So it's an 8 out of 10 for the single player campaign on Medal of Honor Warfighter. The next review will be the multiplayer review, which is going to be a lot harder to do. The multiplayer review of Medal of Honor Warfighter, that should be coming within the next few days or so. And that's basically it. So 8 out of 10 for Medal of Honor Warfighter single player campaign. Try and play it if you can, and I hope you guys enjoyed this process. It's Rapture City signing out. Thank you for watching. Peace.